An aggressive alien ship no one would buy. A young human unleashed its true power. Ships gleamed under the artificial sunlight of the massive dome, their engines humming, their armor polished to alien perfection. Aliens of every kind walked among the stalls, trading, haggling, and showing off their impressive warships. Humans were still a rarity here, often treated like exotic pets or curious novelties. Kale, a young human pilot of barely 22 standard years, weaved through the crowd. His eyes, bright with curiosity, scanned every display, every ship, every console. He was smaller than most of the aliens, but he had a confidence that often made people pause. Today, he was not here to admire the sleek fleets or the shiny new ships. He was here because of the rumor, a ship no one wanted, an aggressive warship that had failed every alien test. Why would anyone buy it? A bulky four-armed Zithurian muttered to his companion, pointing at the ship. Its hull was uneven, angular, and strange even by alien standards. It didn't shine or glimmer like the others. Its engines had a faint hum, almost like a heartbeat, but that hum was irregular, unpredictable. They say it kills pilots. They say it chooses its own masters. Kale didn't care about the rumors. To him, a ship was a tool, a partner, not a reputation. He had learned long ago that the universe had a way of rewarding curiosity. While others feared what they didn't understand, Kale wanted to see it for himself. The ship sat in the back of the lot, surrounded by barriers and warning signs. Its paint was scratched and some panels were missing. Most alien buyers kept their distance, whispering that it was unstable, unsafe, maybe even cursed. But Kale felt something different. He could feel the energy, faint but strong, pulsing from the hull. It was alive in a way most ships weren't. "Can I see it closer?" Kale asked the human broker standing nearby. The broker raised his eyebrows. Humans rarely ventured here, and this one seemed bold. "Go ahead," he said cautiously, "but don't touch anything. The ship doesn't like strangers." Kale ignored the warning with a grin. He stepped past the barriers and onto the ramp leading to the cockpit. The door hissed open as if it had been waiting for him. The interior was cramped but intricate, filled with alien consoles covered in blinking lights, symbols he did not understand, and panels that seemed to shift subtly when he looked away. "Hello," Kale murmured. His voice echoed softly in the cabin. Then faintly a voice replied, melodic but alien, "New pilot detected." "Do you intend to survive?" Kale froze. The ship was talking, and it wasn't just reading his commands, it was communicating. I guess we'll find out," he said, his tone half nervous, half excited. The alien brokers outside exchanged glances. No human had ever dared touch this ship. No human had ever lived through a test flight. Kale, without knowing it, had just set off a chain of events that would change the way every species in this sector viewed humanity. The first flight, Kale spent hours examining the controls, trying buttons carefully, moving levers and adjusting panels. Some lights blinked faster when he approached, others dimmed. It was unlike any ship he had ever seen. Its responses were not mechanical, they were instinctive. The ship seemed to read him. Finally, he took a deep breath and pressed a large, red button marked with alien symbols he didn't understand. The engines roared to life, not with the smooth hum of most ships, but with a violent pulse, shaking the hull. The hangar floor vibrated and nearby drones hovered nervously. "Whoa," Kale whispered, gripping the controls. The ship seemed eager, almost impatient, as if it had been waiting for him to make the first move. As he lifted off, the ship surged forward with astonishing speed. The artificial gravity of Orion 7 struggled to keep him steady. Kale laughed, exhilarated. This ship, so feared by everyone else, responded perfectly to his instincts, his daring, his speed. But then came the accident. A maintenance drone buzzed too close. Kale instinctively swerved and the ship reacted, not with hesitation, not with calculation, but with raw, almost chaotic aggression. A burst of energy shot from the weapon systems, obliterating the drone in a flash. Kale froze. He had destroyed something without meaning to. Outside, a crowd of aliens gasped. The brokers were pale. One of them whispered, "It's killing things, and it listens to him." Kale didn't smile. He was more curious than scared. "Okay," he muttered to himself. "So it's aggressive, but it's smart." He tested another maneuver, twisting and flipping the ship midair. Every system responded exactly to what he imagined. He realized this ship didn't just follow commands, it predicted his intentions and acted before he fully thought them. It was dangerous. It was unstable. But it was also perfect. The bargain Kale returned to the lot, landing with surprising precision despite the ship's wild energy. The brokers and aliens stood frozen. Some whispered warnings, others muttered curses. "How much?" Kale asked, already guessing it would be expensive. "Price?" the broker asked. You want this?" His antennae twitched nervously. "It's unstable, it's dangerous. No buyer wants it." Kale smiled. "Exactly, that's why I want it." The brokers exchanged stunned looks. Kale was small, human, and fearless. No one else had dared. After tense negotiations, Kale managed to secure the ship for a fraction of its supposed value. He didn't care about price. He cared about possibility. As he prepared to leave, he felt the ship's hum grow warmer, almost like a heartbeat matching his own. Kale realized the rumors weren't just stories. The ship was reactive, yes, but it wasn't random. It was choosing him. Discovering the hidden console back at his small docking bay, Kale explored the cockpit further. Among the alien panels, he found a hidden console beneath a sliding panel. Symbols glowed faintly, different from the main controls. When he touched it, a holographic map appeared, showing the ship's internal systems. There were energy conduits running through the hull, linking weapons, engines, and shields in patterns no alien engineer had fully understood. The ship's full power was hidden, locked behind systems that only a compatible pilot could unlock. Kale's mind raced. If he learned to sync with this ship, if he understood its instincts, he could do things no alien ever imagined. But there was risk. A misstep could destroy him. The ship's aggression was real, and it would respond to mistakes with lethal force. Kale grinned. "Well, I guess we're going to learn together." The first test, Kale decided to test the ship on a nearby asteroid field. The plan was simple: fly through, dodge obstacles, and see how it reacts. At first, the ship was jittery, but then, almost as if it trusted him, it moved with incredible precision. It dodged massive asteroids, twisted through narrow gaps, and fired energy pulses to clear loose debris, not at Kale's command but at his intent. Kale felt a surge of excitement. He realized this ship wasn't just a machine. It was alive in a way humans could understand, but aliens couldn't. But just as he celebrated, sensors detected something else: a patrol of alien drones approaching rapidly. The rumors of the ship's danger had spread quickly, and now authorities were curious. Kale had seconds to decide: land and face questioning, or push the ship further, prove its worth. His hand hovered over the controls, heart pounding. The ship seemed to anticipate his hesitation. Its hum grew louder, engines flaring, weapons systems powering up. It was ready for action. Kale clenched his teeth. "All right, let's show them what humans can do." End of Part 1. Hook. The young human pilot aboard a ship no one would touch was about to face the galaxy's first true test. The patrol drones moved in, sleek and armed to the teeth. Kale's ship vibrated with energy, almost as if it was smiling. This was the beginning of something new: a human, underestimated by every alien in the sector, paired with a weapon they could not control, ready to unleash its true power. Kale whispered to himself, "Let's see if they can keep up." And with that, the ship surged forward, faster than anyone had expected, disappearing into the asteroid field as the alien drones followed, unaware that their assumptions about humans were about to be shattered. The asteroid field glimmered with reflected light from distant stars. as Kale navigated the ship through the maze of massive rocks. His hands gripped the controls, but he was barely steering. The ship moved as if it had a mind of its own, twisting and sliding in patterns Kale couldn't have imagined, dodging boulders the size of small moons. Outside, the alien patrol drones approached in formation, their sleek, black hulls shining under Orion 7's artificial sunlight. They were confident, fast, armed with energy cannons designed to destroy a human shuttle in seconds. They had heard the stories about Kale's broken ship, but none had ever faced it. Kale took a deep breath. He knew instinctively that the ship could outmaneuver them, but only if he trusted it completely. He relaxed his grip, let the controls fall slightly loose, and thought only of the path he wanted to take. The ship responded instantly. It twisted sideways, fired pulse bursts from its alien weapons, and intercepted incoming lasers before they even reached the hull. The drones were confused. Their algorithms could not predict the ship's moves. Every time they thought they had a clear shot, the ship shifted, as if it anticipated their actions before they even began them. Kale felt a thrill of excitement. He realized the rumors were true, but not in the way anyone had feared. This ship wasn't a danger because it was unstable. It was dangerous because it adapted to its pilot's instincts, and human instincts were unpredictable. First contact with enemy pirates. As he maneuvered deeper into the asteroid field, sensors picked up multiple heat signatures converging on a nearby trading convoy. Pirate ships, fast, agile, and heavily armed, had moved in for an ambush. Their target was easy: humans. Kale's jaw tightened. He could run, but running was boring and wasteful. The convoy was trapped. If he hesitated, innocent lives would be lost. He glanced at the ship. It pulsed with readiness, humming like it was asking for action. "All right," Kale whispered, "let's dance." He guided the ship into the center of the convoy's path. The pirates were confident at first. They had never seen a human alone take on a fleet. Their lasers fired, their shields glowed, but Kale's ship moved in unexpected patterns, weaving between rocks and debris while firing back with perfect timing. Kale laughed, heart racing. He had no manual, no formal training for this. He only had instinct. The ship, perfectly synced to him, split its weapons in multiple directions, intercepting missiles while targeting enemy ships simultaneously. An alien observing the fight from a nearby space station gasped. "Impossible," it whispered. "How does a human control the system so precisely? They shouldn't be able to think this fast." But Kale was just thinking, reacting, imagining the moves he wanted the ship to make. It didn't just obey commands, it understood his intent, faster than any AI could calculate. Within minutes, the pirate ships were either destroyed or fleeing. The convoy's survivors cheered, broadcasting gratitude across comm channels. Kale felt a rush of pride, but also a deeper understanding. This ship and a human mind together were unstoppable. Alien authorities take notice. News of the engagement spread quickly. The alien patrol fleet that had been following Kale paused. They had underestimated a human pilot, and now they had proof that humans could turn an unassuming, broken ship into a weapon no one could predict. Kale returned to a safer orbit and landed on a small asteroid station to assess the ship. He found new features had activated, systems he hadn't noticed before, shields that could anticipate energy trajectories, weapons that adjusted firing patterns mid-flight, even propulsion systems that bent space slightly to avoid collisions. He realized something shocking. The ship's full power could only be unlocked by someone who approached it with creativity, intuition, and bravery, the human way. Aliens relied on logic, algorithms, and formal procedures. Humans relied on instinct and adaptability. The difference was immense. As he explored the ship's systems, a communication ping arrived from the alien patrol commander. A stern voice echoed through his console. "Human pilot Kale, you are in unauthorized control of alien technology. Surrender the ship immediately. Kale smirked. Unauthorized. Oh, I think I'll keep it. He muted the comm. The aliens couldn't imagine what they were up against. He and the ship shared a silent laugh, if a machine could laugh. Testing limits, Kale decided to push the ship further. He guided it toward a derelict asteroid belt known to contain unstable energy fields. Most ships avoided it. The energy could fry electronics instantly. But Kale wasn't most pilots. He wanted to see how far the ship could go, how fast it could react, how intuitive it really was. The moment they entered the field, the ship shuddered violently. Sparks flew across the cockpit. Alarms blared in alien tones Kale didn't understand. But he didn't panic. He trusted the ship. "Move with me," he whispered. "We're partners, remember," the ship responded. It twisted through energy spikes with incredible precision, bending its trajectory in ways Kale didn't even know were possible. Shields glowed, weapons primed, and the hull hummed as if it was enjoying the test. Kale laughed aloud. This was more than flying, it was dancing with danger. By the time they exited the field, Kale knew he had tapped into something extraordinary. The ship had evolved through him, and he had evolved through it. Together, they were beyond what anyone could predict. A lesson in human ingenuity. Kale realized the galaxy would never see humans the same way again. Aliens might have dismissed him as reckless, weak, and insignificant, but now he had proof that humans could turn the impossible into reality. He practiced maneuvers, tested new weapons configurations, and even improvised tactics during simulated attacks. Every time, the ship responded instantly. It didn't just follow patterns, it created them, guided by Kale's intuition. He remembered the warnings from the alien brokers: the ship kills pilots. But it hadn't killed him. Instead, it had amplified his abilities. It seemed to understand one fundamental truth: humans could think in ways no alien AI could ever predict. The escalation. A week later, Kale received word of a massive alien fleet moving toward Orion 7. They were coming for the human pilot with the broken ship. Commanders called it an overreaction. Others whispered fears. They had seen him defeat pirates with ease, and now the galaxy's elite forces were curious or afraid. Kale didn't hesitate. He prepared the ship for combat. Every system was checked, every panel scanned. He felt a strange bond with the ship, like it was thrumming with anticipation. He smiled. "They're going to learn the hard way," he said. As he approached the fleet, Kale saw hundreds of alien ships in formation, sleek and deadly. The patrol commander from earlier led the advance, confident in the alien fleet's overwhelming power. But Kale saw their weakness immediately. They relied on predictable patterns, slow calculations, and overconfidence. The moment the fleet opened fire, Kale acted instinctively. The ship twisted, leaped, and dodged. Weapons fired automatically, intercepting incoming energy blasts before they hit. Then, Kale made a move no alien could have predicted. He split the ship's weapons in multiple directions, creating overlapping fire zones that targeted several ships at once, turning the fleet's own formation against itself. The alien commanders could not believe their sensors. It anticipates us. No logic pattern predicts these maneuvers," Kale chuckled. "You're watching a human think with a little help from my ship." The turning point: by mid-engagement, the alien fleet had lost formation. Several ships were disabled, others fleeing in confusion. Kale's ship danced among the chaos, agile and relentless. He realized the fleet wasn't defeated because he was stronger. It was defeated because he was creative, adaptable, and fearless. And the ship was perfect for him. Every instinct he had, every sudden decision, the ship responded faster than he could speak, faster than any alien algorithm. He felt a surge of pride, not just for himself, but for humanity. This was proof humans could rise above assumptions, above technology, even above alien superiority. End of Part 2. Hook. As the dust of the battle cleared, Kale surveyed the remaining alien fleet. They were retreating, their commanders shaken, their pride wounded. Communications from their stations were full of confusion and disbelief. Humans, they realized, were unpredictable and dangerous. Kale's heart raced with excitement. He knew this was only the beginning. Larger fleets, more advanced ships, and more experienced adversaries would come. But Kale and his ship were ready. Together, they were unstoppable when humans thought creatively. Looking at the stars beyond the battlefield, Kale whispered, "They think they can stop us. Let them try." The ship hummed in agreement, its alien systems glowing like a heartbeat. Kale smiled, feeling the thrill of power and potential. Humanity had taken its first step into proving that ingenuity, courage, and instinct could outmatch technology, even alien technology. The galaxy was about to learn a lesson it would never forget. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Across Orion's 7 space lanes, rumors of the human pilot and his so-called broken ship had spread like wildfire. Alien authorities were still stunned, whispering warnings and arguing among themselves. A single human had outwitted their patrols and defeated pirate fleets, something they had always believed impossible. Kale floated in the cockpit of his ship, staring at the stars. The alien fleet that had been sent to reclaim or destroy him was now visible on his sensors. Hundreds of ships organized in tight formations, all gleaming and bristling with weapons. They were confident. They believed they were coming to finish the story of the reckless human pilot. Kale didn't feel fear. He felt excitement. He had trained, tested, and learned every quirk of this ship. Every system pulsed with energy, eager for the challenge. The ship's alien AI voice, melodic and strange, spoke softly. "Pilot, they underestimate you. Shall we begin?" "Let's show them why humans are never predictable," Kale replied. His hands rested lightly on the controls. He didn't need to push them hard. The ship seemed to know his thoughts, to anticipate every move before he even imagined it. The battle begins as Kale approached. The alien fleet opened fire. Thousands of energy bolts streaked toward him, exploding against his shields. The ship responded instantly, weaving, twisting, and splitting its weapons fire into multiple vectors, intercepting incoming missiles and counterattacking simultaneously. The fleet's commanders were shocked. Their strategies, perfected over centuries, failed. The human pilot was dancing in ways no algorithm could calculate, dodging attacks, hitting multiple targets at once, and retreating only to strike again with terrifying precision. Kale felt a surge of confidence. He realized the truth. This ship wasn't just powerful, it amplified human creativity. Every instinct, every daring idea, every unpredictable move became a weapon. A massive destroyer charged at him from the flank. Its shields were thick, energy cannons deadly. Most pilots would have fled or attacked cautiously. Kale smiled. Time for a little improvisation. He tilted the ship, allowing the destroyer to overshoot, then spun violently, firing pulses that struck the destroyer's weak points simultaneously from multiple angles. It exploded in a brilliant flash of energy. "Impossible," a nearby alien commander shouted. "How can one human do this?" Kale laughed. "It's simple," he said to himself. "You underestimated me," turning the fleet against itself. Kale realized the key to victory wasn't just firepower, it was strategy. The alien fleet relied on predictable formations and communication patterns. The human mind was chaotic, adaptable, and creative. Using the ship's adaptive systems, Kale began manipulating the fleet's sensors, creating false targets and drawing them into traps among the asteroid field. Ships collided, fired on each other by mistake, and formations broke apart. Every move Kale made was amplified by the ship's alien technology. Shields bent energy beams in unexpected directions. Weapons split and retargeted faster than human eyes could follow, and engines allowed sudden bursts of speed no one could predict. The alien commanders were panicking. "Withdraw, regroup, do not let him." But it was too late. The chaos had already spread. Kale's ship moved like a phantom, precise yet unpredictable, striking where it was least expected and vanishing before retaliation could occur. The power of human instinct amid the chaos, Kale thought of humanity, not just himself, but every human who had ever been underestimated. Aliens believed humans were weak, reckless, and incapable of advanced tactics. Today, he was proof to the galaxy that human creativity and instinct were weapons more powerful than the most sophisticated alien technology. Kale leaned back slightly, trusting the ship completely. It surged forward, anticipating every twist in the alien fleet, and he felt a strange exhilaration, a combination of fear, excitement, and pride. The ship's systems pulsed like a heartbeat, responding to his every thought. It was more than a vessel, it was a partner. The largest alien battleship moved into position to block him, a monstrous craft designed to obliterate anything in its path. Kale's mind raced. Most pilots would aim directly, but Kale thought like a human, not a machine. He spiraled, twisted through debris, and unleashed a pattern of fire the alien AI could not anticipate. Missiles and energy blasts struck simultaneously at weak points, splitting shields and detonating engines. The battleship exploded in a massive fireball, shaking the remaining fleet. The HFY moment Kale saw the remaining ships hesitating. Their leaders were stunned, their formations ruined, their confidence shattered. He knew this was his moment. He did not just want to survive, he wanted the galaxy to understand humanity. He opened communications, his voice calm and steady. "You thought humans were weak. You thought we were predictable. You were wrong. It's not the ship, it's the pilot. We adapt. We create. We fight with instinct, courage, and creativity. That is why you cannot control us." The alien commanders froze. Their sensors were still detecting the ship's impossible maneuvers. It had struck every point they thought was safe, moved where no algorithm predicted, and left a trail of destruction in a human pilot's wake. Kale smiled. "This ship was broken according to you. I call it freedom. The final gambit." One last wave of ships surged forward, determined to destroy him before he could claim full victory. Kale felt the ship vibrating with anticipation. He didn't panic. He thought, acted, and the ship responded instantly, splitting weapons fire, bending shields, and weaving through the enemy with elegance and raw power. He led the remaining fleet into a dense asteroid field, knowing the terrain would favor his intuition over their predictable programming. As the alien ships followed, their communications jammed, collisions occurred, and chaos spread faster than they could recover. Kale used every trick, every instinct, and every adaptive feature of the ship. By the end, only a handful of alien ships remained, retreating in confusion and disbelief. Orion 7's trade hub watched in awe. Humans were no longer to be dismissed as weak or insignificant. One young human pilot had turned a broken, rejected alien ship into the deadliest weapon in the sector. Aftermath Kale floated in space, watching the retreating fleet. The ship's hum was gentle now, almost satisfied. Kale patted the console. "We did it," he said softly. "We really did it." He realized something important. This was more than victory in battle. It was a statement. Humans were underestimated, yes, but that underestimation was their greatest strength. Aliens relied on patterns, on predictability, on formal procedures. Humans relied on instinct, courage, and creativity. Where aliens saw chaos, humans saw opportunity. The broken ship, once scorned and abandoned, now glowed with pride. Kale had unlocked its true potential. Together they were unstoppable. Across the galaxy, news spread. Aliens whispered warnings. Humans celebrated quietly, understanding that one pilot's courage had rewritten the rules of interstellar engagement. A new era for humanity. Kale returned to Orion 7's docking bay. The brokers who had sold him the ship watched nervously. Aliens stared, some with fear, some with grudging respect. Kale stepped down, confident and calm. "They said this ship was dangerous," he said with a grin. "It's only dangerous if you underestimate it or the human inside it." The galaxy had learned a lesson: never underestimate humans. They were clever, adaptable, and daring in ways no alien algorithm could ever predict. Kale's victory was not just personal, it was a triumph of human ingenuity. The ship, once abandoned and scorned, was renamed the Human Flame, a symbol of courage, creativity, and the potential of an underestimated species. Kale knew there would be more challenges ahead, more fleets and more battles, but he also knew one unshakable truth: as long as humans thought freely, they could never be defeated. Kale looked up at the stars. The universe was vast, full of danger, mystery, and opportunity. And now humans were ready to claim their place among the stars, not as weaklings but as the unpredictable, unstoppable force of ingenuity and courage. With a soft hum, the ship powered up, eager for its next challenge. Kale grinned. "Let's see who's next." And with that, the young human pilot and his once-rejected ship surged into the galaxy, an unstoppable force that would never be underestimated again.